8 months of Warhammer 40k 8th edition. Time to review my Necron 8th edition journey on the channel.
Necrons!
Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, in today's video I'm going to review my journey of Necrons in 8th edition from the Index until the new release of the Codex, which is coming up soon. Before that though, if you would like to keep up to date with the wonders of Warhammer 40k, then please give me a sub and hit the bell button so you don't miss an upload. Okay, so around 8 months ago, Warhammer 40k 8th edition was released, and with it we received the Index Book 1, which featured, of course, the Necrons. Now right at the beginning of that release, I made a video called Necrons Suck in 8th edition. It went something like this. Necrons suck in 8th edition. Let's find out if that's true. Now, ever since that video went up, I have made a Necron video every single Monday ever since. So that's a lot of Necron videos. It's been a fantastic journey and I have really enjoyed it. Now, if you've been watching my series of videos on Necrons, I'm sure you would have seen an improvement in my actual video quality from that first video. I've got a new editing software, putting a lot more effort into that, and also into my camera angles and lighting, etc. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing the improvements of the videos as well as actually the content itself. Now, one reason why I made the Necron Suck video was because a lot of people were saying that 8th edition Necrons were nowhere near as good as 7th edition Necrons. In actual fact, they were saying that they were rubbish. Now, I was quite happy with the Index when it came out. It felt like the army had gone back to the old days of Necrons. It also felt like all of the units were quite usable. So I wanted to make a series of videos called Win with Necrons, where I go over all of the different units and then put my take on the different units, maybe how we can use them in 8th edition. Now, I also had a little vision. I wanted to be the #1 place for people to go for Necron content. So that was another reason for making the series of videos. Now, of course, you can't make tactical videos unless you've actually experienced the models and units on the table. So that was my mission, to start playing these units on the table. And I think that gave me maybe a different perspective into playing Necrons. So I ended up playing some quite unusual lists in 8th edition, solely based upon getting some experience with certain units. I played one army where I just had 5 units. I wanted to get the monoliths on the table and the Tesseract Arc. It's quite a fun game and I actually learnt quite a lot about those specific models. In actual fact, I think doing this during 8th edition really helped me tune in to how these models work on the table, which ones were good, which ones were bad. Doomscythe, looking at you. So during those first few months of Necrons, I was playing quite unusual lists. I was learning how the units worked, specifically for my series of videos. And in that series of videos, I was trying to make things fun at the same time. I was adding in fun clips, like my Terminator one, because at the end of the day, our Necrons are Terminators. They can't be bargained with. They can't be reasoned with. They don't feel pity or remorse or fear, and they absolutely will not stop ever until you are dead. And that's why we love Necrons. And it was at this time that Necron Girl was born.
Necrons!
She'd been featured on the channel previously as Little Miss Iddick Beer, but now she was known as Necron Girl.
Necrons!
And although she did annoy a few people as I repeatedly put her saying
Necrons!
into the videos, of course a lot of you really liked her as well. And she is my little mascot, and she will be staying in the videos in the future. So as the weeks went past, I learnt more and more about the units and how the army was working. However, I didn't have a fixed list as such for my armies. I was just experimenting, pretty much experimenting right the way up until a couple of weeks ago, where I finally made an 8th edition army list. I'm going to link you up to that video just there if you want to check out what my 8th edition list is. Clickbait! Now, it's fair to say that I don't play in a competitive environment, and of course going up against very competitive lists is slightly different than playing basement games with your buddies. However, the principles of learning an army are exactly the same. And indeed, I made some extra videos regarding Necrons during this period of time. One was how to deploy your Necron army, which I'll link up to that video there. I also made a video about expanding the Necron box set. Again, I'll link up to that video there. If you didn't see those videos, it might be of interest for you to check them out. Subscribers, keep watching to find out what my favourite Necron unit is. Now, it's fair to say that I'm quite Codex loyal. I prefer to use all of the units in the Codex. I'm not really into allies or mixed factions, and indeed I don't tend to look at Forge World models. However, it was quite clear that Necrons did have a bit of an issue taking vehicles out now. One thing that we were previously really good at doing, but in the Index we certainly had an issue. We didn't have any reliable tank killing stuff, and we didn't have any survivable tank killing stuff. On top of that, everyone else was getting new codexes for their armies, and we weren't. So we were starting to see a bit of a struggle for Necrons. So what I decided to do was move my series of videos to Forge World, and I made some Forge World tactical videos. Now, although I don't own a lot of the Forge World models, I am very experienced with playing Necrons, so I was able to assess the situation regarding a lot of the Forge World units, and we certainly had some very good units available to us from Forge World, and it almost seems like Games Workshop was sort of forcing our hand to go to Forge World to make the army competitive. Hopefully, when the new Codex comes out, things will change and we won't be in that situation. Okay, so with the Forge World Necron videos done, I've now reviewed every single unit available to Necrons. I've built up a lot of experience regarding those units, and I felt I was ready to make my first proper Necron army list. And I made that list ready to play a Winter's SEO. What a fantastic game that was. Again, if you haven't seen the battle report, check it out, there's a link to that video. I was really happy how the army performed, and I feel like now I'm ready for the Necron Codex to be released. Now, talking about new releases, as you know, quite a number of YouTube channels get pre-orders sent to them for free by Games Workshop to review on the channel. And as a YouTuber, it can be quite hard to compete with these particular channels. So what I did is I emailed Games Workshop. I didn't ask for every single release to be sent to me, but I did ask for the Necron release to be sent to me. I thought it would be great to have the Necron Codex on the channel. I felt like I've done some good Necron work, so I directed them to my channel and asked them if there was any chance at all they could send me the Necron Codex for the pre-order review. However, Games Workshop didn't seem to be up for that. Indeed, I didn't even get a reply to my email, not a single thing. So at this stage I decided, sod it, I'm going to make a video about the new Necron Codex in 8th edition, and indeed that's what I did. That was what my army list video was all about, with a picture of me holding a photoshopped new codex on there. Clickbait! It wasn't a clickbait video. That video was designed to try and get into the search engine for the new Necron Codex when it came out, to help me compete with everyone who gets the pre-orders early. I was hoping to get a bit of exposure for my channel regarding Necrons. As I said, I want to be the #1 place to go for Necron content. So for everyone who said that that video was a clickbait video, well, it wasn't actually. The video was designed to help me in the search engine for people who are searching for the Necron Codex. Anyway, regardless, that video did perform very well, and it has a high audience retention, so it seems like everyone who actually watched the video did enjoy the video. Okay, so now I want to talk about my favourite unit in the Index that I've been playing. Now, I definitely think this is going to surprise you, but my two favourite units to use in combination is the Monolith and the Lich Guard with the Warsaw. I've had a lot of fun with these units. I think it's because I haven't played the Monolith or indeed Lich Guard very much previously, so it was just great to play those two units. They were almost like new units. Now the Monolith at 381 points is disgustingly expensive, and I seriously hope that it gets a points drop, or at least some form of buffing for the points that we pay. However, forgetting the points cost, that is definitely my favourite combo that I've been using in 8th edition, the one that I've had a lot of fun with. It hasn't made it into my finished list, However, I did have a lot of fun with it. Now, if the monolith gets a points reduction or indeed better rules when it comes out in the Codex, I'm hoping to get that monolith Lichguard combo into my lists. Okay, so how about the future of my Necron videos? Okay, so it seems like we've got a few weeks left until the actual Codex is released. I'm going to do my best to make some form of Necron video on a Monday for you. I'm not going to be doing any more tactical videos because I think that is a waste of time with the Codex coming out and probably an FAQ a couple of weeks after that. However, I'm going to do my best to get some form of Necron video up for you. And then of course, once the Codex hits, I'm going to make as many videos as I can about the Codex. I'm really hoping that you're going to stick with me in the next chapter of my journey of Necrons in 8th edition. Beam me up!